Hey guys, earlier this semester, in one of our grammar videos called Modals Part 2, you learned that modals can have different meanings. For example, you've seen that they can be used to express possibility, probability, and certainty in present.
I'm hungry.
What?
I'm hungry.
You must be joking. Are you serious?
Yes.
You can't be hungry. You just had a whole pizza 20 minutes ago. Well, modals can also be used in similar ways in the past to make deductions or talk about alternative possibilities in the past. And you can call them perfect modals. We use the perfect modals to say many different things. Now, as I said before, to remember what present deduction with modals was, you can go back to the grammar videos, Modals Part 2, on DBE Online YouTube channel. That will help you understand this video better. Because in this video, we will also look at modals, and we will start with past deduction with must have and can't, couldn't have. Let's see some examples. Here's a dialogue. How does my mom know that I didn't go to school yesterday? One of the teachers must have told her. So, I'm sure that one of the teachers told her. So I use must have. Here's another example. I hate math, dude. I got 64. Yeah, the exam was really hard though. I got 67. I heard that Jack got 88. 88? Jack? He must have cheated. I know him. He's horrible at math. No, he can't have cheated. He couldn't have cheated. Professor Mosby is very careful about that. No one can cheat in his class. When I have strong evidence, I can use must have or can't, couldn't have. I use must have in affirmative sentences and can't, couldn't have in negative sentences. So, can't, couldn't have is the negative form of must have. Okay, let's continue with past deduction, but this time we will look at may, might have. Here's an example. Jack, I called you like 10 times this afternoon. Sorry, man. I may have been in the shower when you called. I'm not sure. I'm not certain. Maybe I was in the shower when you called me. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Maybe I was sleeping. Maybe my phone was on mute. Maybe I didn't hear my phone. Okay? I'm not sure. Here's another example. She may not have been at home when you called her. This is a negative example. I'm not sure. Maybe she wasn't at home when you called her. Maybe she was. You can also use might have verb 3 and could have verb 3 with the same meaning. It's like 50%, okay? May have, might have, and could have can be used with the same meaning. Here's an example. Don't worry, they could have just forgotten to call. Maybe they just forgot to call, relax. But be careful here. In negative sentences, do not use couldn't have verb 3 because, as we said earlier, couldn't have verb 3 is the opposite of must have verb 3. It's the negative of must have verb 3. Okay, let's practice what we have talked about so far. Choose the correct option. Someone called, but I don't know who it was. Maybe it was Alice, but I'm not sure. It may have been Alice. It must have been Alice. The correct answer is, it may have been Alice, because I'm not sure. I'm saying maybe. Here's another one. Nobody's answering the phone at Juan's apartment. I guess he has already left for the airport. He always likes to get to the airport early, you know. He might have already left for the airport. He must have already left for the airport. The correct answer is, he must have already left for the airport, because he always likes to get to the airport early. This is strong evidence for me. I have evidence. So I can use must have. I'm sure. Here's another one. I've lost track of my old friend Lola from high school. Maybe she moved away, maybe she got married and has a different last name. She could have moved away, or she must have moved away. Correct answer is she could have moved away, because I am not sure. Irv looks unhappy today. Maybe his boss criticized him. Maybe he had an argument with his girlfriend. Maybe he lost a lot of money in the stock market. Irv might have had an argument with his girlfriend, or Irv must have had an argument with his girlfriend. There are a lot of maybes in that question, so the correct answer is might have had. When you're not sure, you use may, might, or could. When you are sure, you use must have, can't, or couldn't have. Okay, let's look at alternative possibilities in the past with could have. Here's an example. My sister was such a talented painter when she was younger. She could have become a famous artist, but she chose to study medicine. So she had an option in the past, but she didn't choose that option. She chose another option. This was a possibility in the past, but it wasn't realized. It didn't happen. It could have happened, but it didn't. She had the chance to become an artist, but she didn't. Here's another one. Your grandfather was in hospital for a week. You could have visited him. Now I'm annoyed. I'm criticizing someone. You had the chance to visit your grandfather in the hospital, but you didn't. It was possible for you to visit him, but you chose not to visit him. Here's another example. Are you crazy? Did you really drink and drive last night? You could have died. Again, I'm criticizing. I'm really angry because you risked your life. You're lucky that you didn't die. You could have died. It was a possibility. So as you can see, we use could have with different meanings. And as you can remember, we can also use could have to make deductions in the past, just like may have and might have. Okay, let's move on to regrets and criticism with should have. Here's an example. You should have applied for that job. It was perfect for you. What do you mean I should have? I was thinking of doing that today. I will apply today. You're kidding me. The deadline was yesterday. You can't apply. It's too late. You should have applied earlier. Here's another example. So, your driving test? Give me the good news. I failed. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Yeah, I should have spent more time practicing. Now I regret what I did in the past. I didn't spend enough time practicing. Okay, there are some alternatives that you can use instead of should have. Let's take a look. My girlfriend hasn't talked to me for like a week. It's your fault, man. You ought not to have yelled at her like that. Ought to have verb 3 is an alternative that you can use instead of should have. It's not used very often, and you don't have to use it. You can always use should have. But you may see it in a reading text, or you may hear it in a listening recording, so you should know what it means. Ought to have means should have. Okay, here's another example. Did you feed the fish again? You weren't supposed to do that. Was were supposed to verb 1 can also be used instead of should have. Be supposed to do something is actually used very often, specifically in spoken English. So, ought not to have yelled means shouldn't have yelled, and weren't supposed to do means shouldn't have done. Okay, remember that you can see the perfect modals in continuous and passive forms as well. Let's see some examples. The engine of that car should have been changed months ago. My wallet might have been stolen last night at the concert. I can't find it anywhere. These are passive examples. The murderers may have been following their victim for the last few weeks. You look exhausted. You must have been studying for hours. And these two are continuous forms. Okay, practice time. Choose the correct option. I cannot believe you drove without your driver's license. You could have been arrested. You shouldn't have been arrested. The correct answer is you could have been arrested. You didn't take good care of your baby turtle and now it's dead. You must have taken good care of your turtle. You should have taken good care of your turtle. The correct answer is you should have taken good care of your turtle. Your brother needed help with his homework, but you did nothing. You were supposed to help your brother. You couldn't have helped your brother. The correct answer is you were supposed to help your brother. Good work. Before you go, I want to give you some pronunciation tips. The pronunciation of these perfect modals can be tricky. The H in have is usually dropped. Look at these examples and practice saying the sentences with me. She must have forgotten. She must have forgotten. Must have. Must have. Some speakers also say must have forgotten. She must have forgotten. Yeah. They couldn't have seen each other at the meeting. They couldn't have seen each other. Couldn't have. They couldn't have seen each other. Couldn't have seen each other at the meeting. He may have left early. Not may have left early, but may have. May have. He may have left early. She may not have known you were waiting. She may not have known you were waiting. May not have. May not have. He might have left early. Might have. He might have left early. He might not have left on time. He might not have left on time. Might not have. He might not have left on time. Ought to is interesting. Most American people say something like oughta. Oughta. He ought to have studied more regularly. You could have told me. You should have told me. You shouldn't have told me. Could have. Should have. Shouldn't have. Alright guys, if you have any questions, remember that you can always ask your teachers for help. See ya!